From his controversial Instagram scandal to his performance as a paid driver, Nikita Mazepin's career was rather a roller coaster. Debuting in 2021, Mazepin's career was nothing less than a comet streaking through the night sky. Mazepin blazed his way through the F1 circuit, leaving a wake of controversy and chaos. Despite his privileged background, Mazepin's journey was marred by infamy, with each turn on the track an off-field incident adding to the drama and disdain. Immerse yourself in the captivating saga of a driver whose actions sparked outrage, cementing his reputation as a divisive figure in the high-speed universe of Formula 1. Mazepin's bad reputation has been largely attributed to his irresponsible actions. In December 2020, he shared a video of himself inappropriately touching a woman on social media, which became one of the most notorious occurrences. After the video was swiftly removed, fans, drivers, and even Haas, his team, expressed their outrage and broad condemnation. The social media trending hashtag #WeSayNoToMazepin reflected the public's disapproval. The story gave Mazepin a very bad reputation, showing him to be someone who disregards personal space and doesn't know how important it is to behave with decency. The Haas F1 team denounced the actions in a statement, and Mazepin thereafter apologized. But the harm to his image had already been done. The incident established a pattern for how people would view him in Formula 1 going forward. He was perceived by both supporters and detractors as lacking the maturity and decency required to represent a team at the highest level of motorsport. His reputation took a serious hit as a result of this off-track incident, which also made it difficult for many members of the F1 community to support him. Mazepin's driving style was frequently marked by spins and crashes, which endangered other drivers in addition to interfering with his races. From the first race on, it was clear that he was having trouble keeping control of the vehicle. For example, he spun out on the first lap of the 2021 Bahrain Grand Prix, terminating the race early. Throughout the season, he kept losing control of his vehicle, which resulted in several instances where he spun or crashed into other cars and barriers. Many people characterized Mazepin's driving style as unpredictable and risky. His incapacity to consistently control the vehicle at high speeds resulted in multiple near misses and crashes. One noteworthy instance was when he was fined for blocking Sergio Perez during the 2021 Portuguese Grand Prix. Mazepin neglected to yield appropriately under blue flag conditions, which call for slower vehicles to give way to faster ones, almost resulting in a collision with Perez. The incident demonstrated his poor situational awareness and disregard for racing rules. Mazepin's compliant actions caused his other drivers to become irritated. His erratic driving made it challenging for other drivers to pass him securely. Several drivers, citing Mazepin's driving style as a possible threat, voiced their concerns, including Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton. There was mistrust and anxiety whenever Mazepin was on the track due to the many occurrences and near collisions. Mazepin's persistent underperformance in comparison to his teammate Mick Schumacher brought even more attention to his troubles. Schumacher was able to get greater performance out of the car and experience fewer accidents even though both drivers were novices. The difference in Schumacher and Mazepin's driving skills was highlighted by their ability to exceed each other in qualifying and races. This analogy increased the visibility of Mazepin's flaws and increased the backlash he received. Mazepin's father, Russian billionaire Dmitry Mazepin, provided substantial financial support, which made it easier for him to enter Formula 1. This gave rise to the belief that he was elected based on his family's money rather than his qualifications. In motorsport, the term "pay driver" is frequently used negatively to refer to drivers who are thought to have bought their way into the sport rather than developing their skills. The phrase was used a lot in Mazepin's case, with many supporters and commentators claiming that his position at Haas was mainly because of the financial backing from his father's business, Uralkali, a significant team sponsor. His dismal performance on the track served to reinforce this impression. Although paid drivers are not unheard of in Formula 1, they are subject to inspection and are required to demonstrate their value through outstanding performances. Unfortunately for Mazepin, the idea that he was only there because of his father's wealth persisted despite his problems on the track. This view was detrimental to the team as well as Mazepin. It was believed that the financially troubled Haas F1 team had compromised driver talent to maintain stability. Mazepin was under more pressure to succeed because of this circumstance, but his inability to stay on course only served to confirm the negative perception of him as a paid driver and stirred more resentment within the F1 community. Before we dive into more reasons why Mazepin struggled in F1, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more awesome F1 content. Now, let's get back to it. Despite the debates and critiques, Mazepin's acting did not get much better over time. His incapacity to compete at a higher level and ongoing troubles on the track served to further solidify his negative impression. As he gained more experience, supporters and observers anticipated a certain amount of improvement, but his performances remained mostly lackluster. Throughout a Formula 1 season, drivers are expected to adjust and get better. But Mazepin appeared to have trouble with the fundamentals of driving the car and staying steady. For a driver competing at the top level of motorsport, his frequent errors and lack of rivalry with his colleagues revealed a worrying lack of growth. Because of his lack of progress, fans found it difficult to see any promise in him, and as a result, they all agreed that he wasn't cut out for Formula 1. Mazepin's inability to improve also had implications for his future in the sport. Teams and sponsors are looking for drivers who can deliver results and show growth potential. Mazepin's stagnation meant that he was not seen as a valuable asset for the future, further diminishing his standing in the sport. Another level of controversy was created by Mazepin's affiliation with his father, who is connected to Russian President Vladimir Putin. The UK, Canada, and the EU all imposed sanctions on Mazepin and his father after Russia invaded Ukraine. His reputation was further damaged when this resulted in the termination of his contract with Haas. Mazepin was subjected to a great deal of unwanted publicity as a result of his political connections and the sanctions that followed. Mazepin's affiliation with contentious political personalities and occasions was detrimental to a sport that takes pride in its commitment to world peace and diversity. The geopolitical climate directly led to the termination of his Haas contract, demonstrating the direct influence that off-track events may have on a driver's Formula 1 career. These political and ethical issues also played a role in how Mazepin was perceived by fans. The F1 community is not isolated from global events, and Mazepin's association with a regime involved in a controversial conflict further alienated him from fans and stakeholders. This situation made it difficult for him to garner any sympathy or support from the broader F1 community. There has been much controversy surrounding Nikita Mazepin's Formula 1 career, both on and off the track. He is regarded as one of the most hated drivers in Formula 1 history due to his actions, results, and the circumstances surrounding his debut in the competition. Even though he has stated that he wants his racing to speak for itself, the confluence of these elements has made it difficult for him to alter public opinion. The lessons learned from Mazepin's Formula 1 experience include the value of behavior, perception, and the wider consequences of one's relationships and actions in addition to skill. Every aspect of a driver's life is scrutinized in a sport as high-profile as Formula 1. And Mazepin's situation shows how easily things can go wrong if a racer doesn't live up to expectations both on and off the track. The legacy of drivers such as Mazepin will serve as a constant reminder of the elevated expectations necessary to achieve success at the highest level of motorsport as Formula 1 continues to change. Do you think Mazepin's reputation was more affected by his on-track performance or his off-track controversies? Let us know in the comments down below, and we'll see you in the next video.